Hey, what's up guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome back to the episode of playing Gemstone Legends. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the hero Cyrene. I believe that's how you say his name. He is a hero that came out a couple of weeks ago. I'm a little bit behind on him, but I have been using him in the arena quite a bit since I got him, and I have more experience with him. Also, I wanted to share how I've been using him. I think that he's absolutely incredible, and I'm going to help you figure out how to load him out and then how you can use his skills in the arena as well. So let's take a look. So if we take a look at his skill, he is all about removing positive stats and then putting a silence on your enemy. So that's where you're going to get all of your benefit from him. And if you can level up his skill, he's going to be super strong. Okay, so he might feel kind of weak in the beginning in that you can only remove 4, and then you only have silence for 2 turns. But once you get up to a max ability, it really adds up. Okay, so it goes up to 6 positive stats, and then silences for 4 turns. That's really the main key here. And then the passive ability here, again, starts with 1 removal, and you need to remove at least 4 positive stats, meaning like if you just at level 1 for both, you have to make sure that you can remove basically remove all 4 stats from your positive ability, and then you can remove 1 additional one. So for a total of 5. But as you get up in your abilities, you can actually now remove 2 stats. This is guaranteed. And if you can remove at least 3, then you're guaranteed to remove 2 more from the entire board. So you can actually remove up to 8 positive stats in one shot from an enemy, and then you can also silence the enemy. This is the key part. This is really strong, okay? And if you take a look at his ability, you then want to make sure that accuracy is the name of the game for you. So my gears aren't great in that I have a couple of 5-star gears. But I do have his accuracy at 235 right now, and then I gave him some health as well. So health and then accuracy. So cursed is going to be a good set. I also chose to go with a mystic set for additional accuracy and also some speed. And so you can see that I'm basically focusing on health, so I can give him some survivability, and then putting accuracy and health, some defense in his substats as well. Okay, now you can choose to go all curse if you wanted to. You don't have to go with a mystic here. I just, based on my gears, this is the best balance I could come up with to get some decent accuracy. His awakening skill does give him additional accuracy as well. So if you can awaken him, this will help you get your accuracy higher also. Now let's go and check out a couple of fights in the arena. As I mentioned, he is a really, really useful hero in the arena, and I'm going to show you the reasons why. So we're going to go into a fight here, and we're going to be up against an opponent here who is going to have really speedy heroes also. And so what we're going to do is we are going to get ourselves situated by getting our light heroes, yellow heroes ready to fight, and also hopefully having the ability to get some red gems to get Cyrene's skill handy. Okay, and so what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to get started by taking out Cyrene. The reason I'm doing this is because Cyrene is number 3 in the list here in the queue, and her ability to remove positive stats from our team is going to make it really difficult for me because I want to make sure I can keep protection on my Elgath, for example. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to first take her out. That's the first thing that you want to do. You want to identify heroes that are going to give you a hard time. You want to identify heroes that enemies that are going to be problematic for various reasons. It could be one that just deals too much damage. It could be a hero that is going to be something that causes you to have problems. So for example, like with Cyrene, when you take her out, she also gives gives curse, and that's going to be a problem, right? And the next one that we want to do is we want to see who do we want to silence, okay? And I would actually say right now, I want to make sure that I don't get hit by poison from I don't want to get poisoned from Zarkon, but because I can use Elgath to attack right now, I'm actually going to hold off. I'm going to wait and see. So I'm going to go ahead and attack first. And then depending on whether or not he's still alive after this, then I'll decide what to do. Okay, now the next one I want to really focus on silencing is going to be Elgath, because he presents the most, he actually presents a lot of danger. So we're going to go ahead and attempt this. Okay, so without anything here, you see without any positive stats, I could still silence him for 4 turns, which is great. So we're going to go ahead and give him a little protection now. We're going to go ahead and continue on, and then I'm going to show you what happens here, because you can see Streetbog is going to give his ability, and then we're also going to have Aurora, who's going to be able to give some ability here. And so let's see. We're not going to be able to quite get Cyrene's skill going, but we're going to go ahead and get this going right now. And so we're getting ourselves situated, and then next turn I'm going to show you what it's like. Okay, so you can see Streetbog has used up all of his, he has used up his skill, and then everyone is pretty much filled up. And we're going to go ahead and attempt one more shot here. And you can see we've removed I think we removed all 6 at that point, and then we removed 2 more from everybody else. This is incredible. We went from having 9 positive stats to just 1. So I removed either 5 or 6, but it's a minimum of 7 to 8 positive stats I've removed, and I've silenced a Streetbog here. Okay, and so this is the power of Cyrene, where if you can use him, basically you can give yourself an advantage by keeping your enemies to gemstone attacks only. Okay, and that is sometimes going to make a big difference, because sometimes a lot of the heroes, they are very strong with their attacks, but then not so much when it comes to just their gemstone attacks. And this is often the case with defensive focused heroes. So if you have heroes that deal damage based on their defense attacks, defense value, then their gemstone attacks usually aren't going to be super strong, because attack values is what boosts your attack value, right? And so now we're gonna go ahead and just take out Streetbog, and here we go. We have won ourselves a match here, okay? And so then that is how you can use them in these situations. And a lot of these teams that you're going to be facing arena, more often than not, they're going to have Streetbog on there. They're going to have a lot of teams that will do positive buffs. And what you can do is you can then pair up Cyrene, who is going to remove all of the stats, with maybe like a negative stats, right? So like instead of Sigil here, I could put in somebody like Zarkon. I could also load up negative stats, and because I have a hero that can actually do a lot of strip, like I can remove a lot of positive stats, I can make this happen really easily. Okay, and so here is another example. We're going to go ahead and try this one. And again, I'm expecting these to be really fast heroes as well. So let's see what happens here. Okay, you always have to pay attention to who you have to focus on, removing from the board here. And I think we can actually do this. We can go ahead and get our silence on now. And I'm thinking that I want to first get my I think I want to get Zarkon, right? So notice that I only dispelled 1 out of the 2 here, but I was able to silence him still. Okay, and so what we're going to try and do is we're going to attempt to get Cyrene's skill going one more time if possible. It looks like we're not going to be able to, but we're going to go ahead and take out Zarkon. He does present the biggest problem for us right now. We are going to get hit here, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put protection on Streetbog, because next to Zarkon, the next person that's going to present problems for me is going to be Necros. So we're going to go ahead, and even though he's silenced right now, and so what this means, I don't actually have to worry about him, right? I can actually focus on someone else. So I can actually focus on someone like, I can actually focus on Helica, for example, get Helica's, health lower, so that when she heals, she's going to heal herself rather than heal other heroes. So you can see here, I'd rather Helica focus on healing herself. And right now you can see Zarkon actually has 3 turns still of silence, right? This is where, Zarkon is really strong when it comes to his skills, but when it comes to his gem damage, it's not quite there, so you don't really worry about him much. And he didn't really get a chance to it wasn't his turn anyway. And then so we can go ahead and silence him one more time. It's his turn, right? So now we've removed 2 negative stats, 2 positive stats, and this is an area I wanted to talk about. He only had 2 positive stats, and my skill says you need to, like, only after removing 3 positive stats, right? At least 3. That's when you can actually remove everything. This is a case where if the opponent has less than 3 positive stats, right, and at least 1, by removing it, you then can also remove from everybody else. Okay, so that is something that is very interesting to keep in mind. It is not explicitly stated in the skill, but it is something that I want to explain, so now you know how it works. All right, so let's go ahead and get more of Cyrene's skill going. I think we're going to go ahead and take out Helica at this point. Okay, so because we can take her out so she can't heal anymore. We have Zarkon silenced. We can also go ahead and silence Necros. Okay, and then we're going to just keep going, right? We can just keep going here, and we'll probably silence Zerfar next. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do another spell shield here. I don't have enough red gems here to actually make that happen. So let's see if we can get that. We will not be able to get him to activate his skill. So we're just going to go ahead and protect ourselves. Okay, and then the next turn we can actually get Zerfar to go. But right now I just want to make sure I load up on my positive stats so that when Zerfar does go, I don't lose all of my skills here. I do have decreased defense here, but that's not going to be an issue. We're going to go ahead and silence him also. So now you can see 3 out of the 4 heroes are now silenced, and we can actually go ahead and take out Zarkon first. Okay, so we can go ahead and take him out, and then we're going to go ahead and do some protection, and then kind of keep going. So you can see here, because once you've silenced your heroes, you don't really worry about the gem damage as much. Okay, and that gives you time to prepare for your attack. Gives you time to really it really just disrupts sort of like what makes your opponents strong. Okay, it disrupts their skills. It disrupts their ability to be able to either attack you or to put negative stats on you, and that's why I think that he's really strong. So Cyrene on your team is going to just be a great a great pairing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and finish up at this point, and then we'll call it the end of the video here. I can actually auto this fight as well, as you can sort of see what the computer AI chooses to do here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just take down Zerfar first, and then afterwards we're going to go ahead and take down Streetblock. Okay, now the thing is, Cyrene does not deal damage. And so what I'm going to talk about is some additional things that you can think about when thinking about your gears, right? So let's go ahead and talk about that. So I showed you what I did with my personal loadout. And if you take a look at what you can do with your sets here, right? So if you look at the equipment, I think the thing that you want to take a look at is what else can he do? So you could potentially go with Bandit. Right, so Bandit sets, what it does is it also gives you a chance to remove additional positive stats with gemstone matches. So this is another thing you can do, so that you are always constantly removing positive stats. Right, he is going to have high accuracy already, so this is one that you can also put on him. The other option that you can go with is something like a prayer set. So what prayer sets does is it gives you additional gem damage with gemstones. So if you wanted to make him to deal more damage on top of being able to remove positive stats, then this is another set that you can go with. Okay, and so if you wanted to make him some sort of an attacker, you can choose to do so. this will help you with that, because his skills do not actually do any attacks. So something like Daze is actually not going to work for you. So a Daze set only has a chance to stun if your special ability can deal damage. Okay, so you want to stay away from Daze. Okay, you want to stay away from, let's see, I think you want to stay away from Daze for sure, and that's going to be, and the other one I think is Rotten, right? So the Rotten set will inflict heal block, again, only with special ability dealing damage. So there's a few that you want to make sure that you stay away from, and all the others are going to be helpful. You can give himself additional, vampire to give him some additional ability to get additional health when he attacks. But personally, I think having Cursed set or Mystic set is going to be the best option for him. You could choose to do something like health, right? You can do life set, or you can do guardian set to give him more defense. Those are very good options also. But I think having more accuracy is going to be good. But just some other interesting things is you could put a bandit on him and just make him a complete positive stat remover, like champion. Just in addition to everything else, you can also remove gems stats when you just attack normally. So that's another option to go with. So for me personally, I think that he is definitely worth using your tomes to level up, because you can see he's really strong and he's really good. As soon as you get his skill up, you can use it to, silence any hero you like. With high accuracy, it's going to be pretty easy, even against blue enemies, as we have seen. So that's going to be it from me for today. Hopefully this helps you determining what to do with Cyrene, or if you wanted to use a wish list. I think that he is definitely worth going after. If you are looking for a hero that's going to help you with removing positive stats and having silence, this is the best hero to choose from. Okay, so that's going to be for me for today. Thank you very much for listening and for watching and for all of your support, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye now.